Hello, I thought I would pop in and do a little vlog. It's been a while since I've been able to do a video. And I just got back yesterday from a little mini vacation that I took with 3 of my 4 kids. And we went up to Salem where I used to live and then down to Plymouth where my parents live. So, but I really kind of went crazy shopping. So I thought I'd share some of the stuff that I made while I was there or that I purchased because it really is such a cool area and it was nice to be back. I really miss living there. I used to live right downtown. I lived on 2 of the main streets, so I lived in 2 different places. But ironically, this is Pickering Wharf, or usually there's a boat here that looks like the Mayflower called the Friendship. And I lived kind of next to this house. So one house over was my house. And this was my view every morning. So it was fun to go back. And then on this street, this is Derby Street, is the House of the Seven Gables, which was the house that inspired the Nathaniel Hawthorne novel. It's always fun to go into the museum and walk around the house and get a tour. So we did that. And then I got cute little kitschy postcards. Another Seven Gables one. But it was fun to be back. I loved living there. I loved being on the ocean. And then I used to live on Essex Street, which is the other really popular thoroughfare. That's where like the witch house is, and that's where I got married back in the day before I got divorced. But anyway, beautiful, beautiful town. So it was nice to go back. My kids loved it. And I don't think I've ever done a video about this little journal I created. I haven't been able to go on vacation in about 7 years. And this summer was the first time that I could finally go on vacation because everybody was old enough and I could finally afford it. So I went to Boston and Portland, well, Plymouth and Portland this summer, and I made a little travel journal. And it's really just papers folded in half and stitched into a cover. But just really cute way to kind of make sure that you're remembering all the little things that you're doing. So I made sure to bring it with me on my Salem trip, and I have all the pictures in there of everything we did. So it's a fun thing to do at the end of the day. I have a little sticker printer called the Canon Ivy printer, and they work really well. So you can just print out your pictures from the day and pop them in. So anyway, cute little idea. I never did this before when I was younger. So I like having a formal travel journal, and just, you know, I like to put special events in. Like I did a class in the beginning of March with Dina Wakely. I went to New York with Tiffany Sharp of Fodder School, so we had a whole day there. So it's just like a fun way to keep track of everything you're doing. So anyway, I thought I would share that. And then I also, silly me, I made another journal because I thought, oh, I might want to do art. So I made this travel journal. And I have on my Instagram a video of me making this from scratch. And it's called, you know, this kind of style is called a traveler's notebook. It's essentially like a cover. It's usually very flexible. And the idea is you have these 2 stretchy bands that you slide notebooks in. So these are, you know, people make these all over. Companies have these. Traveler's notebook is what they're called. This one is from Ranger, and it's the dialogue from Diane Reevely. So these are her little journals. But I didn't realize they had a blank one. So they have a blank one, so I just thought it would be fun to like paint on it. And I used one of my stencils. This is my great Aunt Peggy. It's one of the stencils in my shop, so I put that on the cover. And of course, I thought, oh, you know, while I'm away, I'll probably want to do collage and mixed media. And I brought all these supplies, and I only had time to work in this journal. Not this one, but I made it anyway just to have, because it could be fun depending on, you know, if I want to do art on the go, this is a good size to have. So I thought that would be fun to share with you. And then Salem is an odd place, like living there for 6 years. I mean, it's very touristy, especially because of the witch trials. So there's the whole witch thing. Hocus Pocus, I don't even think that had come out when I lived there. If it did, it wasn't on Salem's radar by any means. There's a lot more kind of Hocus Pocus related stuff there. And it's really touristy. There's a ton of like witch shops and wand shops, and it's really changed since I've been there. There's a lot more restaurants. But I will say, and I'm not really into all that stuff, but I do like collecting like tarot decks or oracle decks, because I like them from just the art perspective. I've tried to like create a routine where I use them, but I don't. But anyway, I got this one. I'll show you real quick, because I loved the art in it. So it's 4 different artists. That's sliding under. But I just thought the art in it was so appealing to me. It's very much like the stuff that I'm attracted to from illustrators. And it's 4 different illustrators. And I just thought the imagery was so inspiring. So to me, it's just like having, you know, images that you can look at that are inspiring in a different form. Instead of being in a book, they're in cards. And I do love to make card decks. Like in fodder school last year, this year, we did an oracle or affirmation deck. I think I've shown them before on here. So, you know, I make a whole bunch of those, but I don't really use them. Just they're fun to create or be inspired by. But anyway, I just thought, I just love the art for this one. And the fact that it was 4 different artists and they're all like super cool. This is the name of the deck. But anyway, I grabbed that, one of the kitschy crystal-y shops. Super cool. And then there was another place that had these. These are everywhere. So, I mean, you can find these online in different places. But I've been wanting to have these on hand just to, you know, for journal, like for photography and stuff. They're really great to like hold the pages of your books. And I like that they had 2 different sizes. So again, I mean, you can get these almost anywhere online, but I got them from a shop there. I thought they were super cute. And then we went to this place that is kind of for kids, and they have these displays. It's not really a museum, but these interactive exhibits that you can go see. And they had mushroom stickers. So if you know me, I'm just obsessed with mushrooms. So they have these are little mushrooms. Again, I mean, you can go on Etsy and there's a million sticker places. And this one, it was funny. I was shopping. I had left my glasses in the car. I didn't really know what I was buying this day. I was like, they have mushrooms on it. I'm sure I'll like it. And this is like much bigger clear stickers. They're a little frou-frou for me, but I just thought they were fun. So I got those anyway, because I was on vacation. And it's fun to treat yourself. So I got mushroom stickers. And then when I was at the House of the Seven Gables, because I used to live on Derby Street, there is a graveyard there that has a lot of the people who lived in Salem at the time of the witch trials and just since the beginning of Salem itself. People don't realize, like, aside from the whole witch thing, at one time, Salem was the country's largest seaport, and they had the largest port for trade. So anything that was coming in from either Europe or the Indies or anything like that, they would go through Salem. It was the biggest port. And a lot of China came from over in China, like beautiful porcelain, painted porcelain, that kind of thing. So it was really a place where merchants lived. A lot of sea merchants lived in Salem and that sort of thing. So when you go to the graveyard, it really has just like these families that have been in Salem for, you know, a long time. So like some of the streets are named after some of the people in the graveyard because they were like the founders of Salem and all that stuff. So it used to be on my street, and I walked through it all the time as a cut through to get home at the end of the day. When I was coming off the train, I would kind of cut through the graveyard and look at the graves. Anyway, they have these beautiful, cool headstones, you know, like very Edward Gorey. And so at the gift shop at the House of the Seven Gables, they had these reliefs that were created by pressing a mold onto the actual graves, and then they used the mold to make these limited edition pieces. And I just thought they were so cute. I love the artistry of them. So I got one for my studio, and then this one, I'm so in love with this. It's so Edward Gorey to me. Like I love it so much. And I think this one is Father of All Time. So it's like an old man, and he's holding, there's an hourglass. And this was on Timothy Lindell's gravestone. He lived on Charter Street. So anyway, I just thought this was so beautiful. So I have this up in my house too. So I was really excited to bring these home because the graveyard is actually one of my favorite parts of Salem. It's just so, like, looking at how they used to decorate and their artwork and stuff as an artist was extremely appealing to me. I always loved the graveyard. So to bring these home and be able to have them on my wall was super exciting. And then on the way home, we always stop at Papercraft Clubhouse in Connecticut because it's right on the road. And it's a art supply scrapbooking store, but they have, you know, a lot of Ranger products, all kinds of stuff. And I got this thing there. They only had one other one. So again, I don't think they're going to have a ton in case you're like, oh, I have to get that. But I just thought it was so cool. It's like a calendar frame. So you can put a different piece of artwork, you can paint it. And then the cubes are here, so you can turn those. And you have this perpetual calendar. I just thought was so cool. So I was like, I want that. So I grabbed one, and I'll probably do another video when I finish it and just share like how I decided to decorate it. I just thought that was such a cool idea. And they also had, I mean, this is like, again, this is stuff that you can find different places. This is 49 a Market, which is like a really popular scrapbooking company, I think. But I just loved this washi tape, you know, for the holidays. It's like vintage Santa pictures, but they look like postage stamps. And I just thought that was so cool because I had so much fun creating a Christmas journal this year. I just thought this would be fun to have on hand when I make another one, which I'm sure I will do. So I grabbed that. So just wanted to share like all the tchotchkes I picked up. There was definitely more. I got a cool bracelet, but it's upstairs. I got a silver bracelet that is the periodic table of elements. I thought that was cool. But anyway, it's just fun to get away and, you know, take a little road trip and explore things. We didn't go too far. It's only 5 hours from here. So if you're in the area, I highly recommend going and doing some of the other stuff there too. That's not so much the typical like witchy stuff. Like I like the Seven Gables, and there's an incredible museum there called the Peabody Essex Museum, and it's just a fun place. And now they have like a million restaurants. tons to see and do. But anyway, I just wanted to pop on, say hello, and I will be back. If you're listening to this, definitely make sure you sign up for my newsletter, because I'm going to be running a sale in the next day or two. So that won't be true if you're watching this a year from now. Today is April 6th, 2024. In the next day or so. So definitely get on my newsletter. I don't know if I'm going to be announcing it everywhere. So watch out for that. All right. Well, I will be back. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. And, we got lots more coming. I'm surrounded by a ton of new merchandise that I can't wait to load in the shop. I'm just kind of waiting for a couple other things, and I'm going to do another big release, probably my biggest release ever, in another couple weeks. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I'll see you again real soon.